Hi, I'm Jacinta Cunahan and you're watching Coast Community News 5 at 5, September 18. After years and many discussions, the Central Coast Council has started the dredging program for the Entrance Channel, which is set to continue in the coming months. Mayor Lisa Matthews, Council Director for Environment and Planning Scott Cox, and State MP for the Entrance David Meehan were there for the official announcement on Monday morning.
Well, what an exciting day today for the Lakes communities. Finally, the dredge is here, it's in the water and it's working. Something that our community has been waiting for a long time.
This has been 8 months in planning, a lot of work happening behind the scenes, a lot of great work done with the state government agencies to get to this point.
Look, I welcome the start of dredging here at the entrance. It's a great day for the local community. Management of the entrance channel is crucial to the health of the lake and to mitigating flood risk around the lake. So we need a dredging program that has some certainty.
The Council's previously confidential Phase 2 Warnervale Airport review has been released to the public, showing how community activists both for and against the airport have challenged the Central Coast Council's decisions at all levels. The review, conducted by independent consultant Morrison Lowe, concluded that Council had followed the Local Government Act principles throughout the course of its decision-making processes, including the requirement to include significant projects in their integrated planning and reporting documents to enable community engagement. We asked Andrew Smith, CEO of the Aero Club, on his thoughts about the report.
The recent release audit of the airport from Council basically confirms what the community has known all along. I mean, 2/3 of respondents favoured growth of the airport in the report. The majority of the rest wanted the status quo to remain, and only 10% of respondents thought that the airport was unnecessary. And that really basically mimics what the state government review of the Warnervale Airport Restrictions Act showed, which showed 75% of submissions favouring retention of the airport.
And Central Coast received a surprise visit from the Prime Minister Scott Morrison on Wednesday, who announced a $172,000 boost for the Australian Reptile Park at Summersby. The money comes from a $94.6 million support package for the nation's zoos and aquariums announced earlier this year and will be used to fund operational costs associated with the care of animals and to ensure the park remains viable post-COVID-19. The PM was joined by Lucy Wicks, General Manager of the Reptile Park Tim Faulkner, and some cuddly friends.
Oh, you got
there
it.
We go. Here we go. There we go. Where's he from?
Well, Hope's mum was hit by a car and a lovely family,
But
member of the
whereabouts,
community,
did you say?
up in the Hunter Valley.
Oh, it's up in the Hunter Valley.
Yep.
Yep.
They found her and
how
brought
old
her
is
in.
she?
So now about a year.
Oh,
And when
good
she
gosh.
came in, she was a couple of 100 grams. That's only a third grown.
And how old do wombats go?
20 to 30.
20, 30 years?
They're long lived.
Well, hope. There's a lot of hope.
Oh, there is a lot of hope.
Continuing on our green shoots theme, David caught up with the women from the in-home care service Trusted Home Care, whose business has received a few new colleagues. Here's David.
Thanks, JC. And you may remember over a month ago, we did an interview with co-founder of the in-home care disability and age service Trusted Home Care's Karen Barrett, who is on the lookout for more support workers as a result of increase in demand for their service. Well, since then, she has been able to offer employment to 12 new staff members and is still seeking more workers. Hanji Kevi and Ange Garside are just two Trusted Home Care employees, and they came into the studio this week to tell us how the job's been.
I love my job and I never would have thought that it would be for me, this sort of job, but I honestly have not had a better job and I've had lots of different jobs over the years. I just recommend people that are commuting, you just don't need to. There's so many great care jobs up here and you don't even feel like you're working. You just become friends with these people and you make their days better, and I love that part of it. I just love making people's days better.
One of the unexpected results of the COVID-19 situation is the rapid change in the local rental market, with residential vacancy rates hitting new lows. Anecdotally, there are signs of families unable to find rental properties, forcing some to move children away from schools and breaking with established social networks. The hard figures from local data analytics company SeaChange show vacancy rates dropping below 1% in many suburbs across the Central Coast. Yet in contrast, Airbnb listings and occupancy rates are growing rapidly, in some cases eroding the supply of the long-term rental market. For example, SeaChange data shows there are currently 144 Airbnb properties advertising 4 or more bedrooms. In August, there were 78,241 Airbnb room nights, which works out to be 2,545 rooms available per night. Interestingly, local hotel supply is now less than Airbnb at only 2,233 rooms. Now, moving on, let's move to Hayley for this week's top sports stories.
Thanks, David. The Central Coast Mariners have briefed the Central Coast Council this week, requesting the council do what they can to help keep the club on the Central Coast. CEO of the Mariners, Sean Millercamp, addressed the council on Monday night.
I'd like to strongly support the request to hold a crisis meeting because at the 11th hour for this club, we can leave no stone unturned and we must do everything possible to keep the club here on the coast. To do anything less is just not good enough for our community. The reason I oppose the staff recommendation is because unfortunately it is misleading to say that the club enjoys a supportive and productive relationship with Central Coast Council. Yes, we do have a supportive one. We do have one that is positive and motivated and a lot of good personal relationships. But it must be made clear that it is purely a transactional relationship.
And the region's growing army of Groms continues to impress on the Australian competition circuit, with some of the coast's youngest surfers the latest to be put in the spotlight. Nora Head's Mia McMahon and Kincumber's Talia Tebb both secured titles at the recent Woolworths Surfers Grom competition at Sydney's Curl Curl Beach, with McMahon taking out the under-12 girls and Tebb the under-10s. And 2020 marks 20 years from 2000 Summer Sydney Olympic Games. We spoke to Avoca mum and ABC reporter Emma Simpkins, who was among the team of ABC staff chosen to be a part of the Olympic broadcast team.
Oh, it's hard to believe it's 20 years ago. I was so fortunate to be one of a quite small team of ABC staff that was chosen, a rigorous selection panel that we process that we went through to be part of the broadcast for the ABC. We were, of course, a rights holder, so it was a magnificent time, and I don't think until it started we realised quite how special it was. Like, we knew it was big and we wanted to be a part of it. As someone that loved sport, I wanted to have that opportunity, but it really wasn't until the Olympics began that you realised, oh, this is really big. The volunteers were such an important part of the Olympics, and just that knockabout Australian attitude of, yeah mate, just go down there, turn left and follow your nose and you'll find your way to the Olympic Stadium. And that sort of attitude of the average person on the street who put their hand up and said, I want to be a part of this as well, really added to the experience. And everything about Sydney was just perfect for those 2 weeks. The weather was perfect, it was just sublime, beautiful sunny days, it was balmy at night, you were wearing a singlet top or a t-shirt. And
thanks, Hayley. And it's been a forecast of all the seasons this week. Let's check in with Hawken to see what's happening over the weekend.
Thanks, JC. The warm spring weather of the past week is set to continue this weekend, yet also with a slight to medium chance of rain. Coasties may also notice a smoke haze from hazard reduction burnings to the south and north of the Central Coast. Saturday will bring a partly cloudy morning with light winds becoming northeasterly at 20 to 30 kilometers per hour. This will be followed by a mostly sunny afternoon with a maximum of 23 degrees, after an overnight minimum of 13 degrees. Sunday morning will involve a slightly increased chance of rain, reaching a 40% probability. Northeasterly winds will continue throughout the day until becoming light in the evening. A maximum of 24 degrees is expected with another overnight minimum of 13 degrees. Both days this weekend are expected to reach a UV index reading of 6. Therefore, Coast Community News recommends that sun protection measures are taken between the hours of 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. Back to you, JC.
Thanks, Hawken. And all of these stories and thousands more are available on our news website. And remember to pick up a copy of this week's Coast Community News issue number 260 and Coast Community Chronicle 206. Be sure to subscribe to our socials, YouTube channel and Facebook page for updates during the week. And we leave you with a chat we had with Alika Daltillo, who is a local non-performing songwriter who recently teamed up with the blues artist and former Australia's Got Talent contestant Owen Campbell. Together with music producer Ben Ramalis, she has directed and filmed his music clip to the song I Want to See Your Love. So let's check it out and we'll see you next week.
Owen Campbell, amazing blues artist that was on Australia's Got Talent, been all over the world playing his fabulous guitar. And the song originally was just a feel-good song, maybe from a person to a person saying like, why are you standing with that slouch? You know, you're 40 now, don't lose your inner child. Like, I know how you used to be. That was the original intent, but obviously you can extrapolate different meanings. And now, like, from a collective bird's eye view, looking at the times, as I said, it's to all of us. Like, we can't lose that inner spirit and being how we used to be. Like, don't be afraid. Don't stand all rigid and paralyzed by the future. Loosen up, surrender, be inquisitive, find the love, give the love, see the love. And yeah, and go and have a look at the film clip. It's a good vibe.
Do it like you used to, don't pretend you ain't got it in you. Come on, babe, who you trying to get to? Cause the way you stand make me wanna move. With a shimmy in my hips, I'll take you blue. Come on, man, do you remember? You stop, do it like you used to. Don't pretend you ain't got it in you. Come on, baby, who you trying to get to? Oh, stop, do it like you used to. Don't pretend you ain't got it in you. Come on, baby, and now I wanna see your love. Wanna be your love. I wanna see your love. Wanna be your love. Be your love, 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 be your love. Be your love, be your love, I wanna see your love. Be your love, 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 be your love.